right, guys, we got a freaking epic episode that's coming to you guys today. We got Gomar in from GOWOD Science, and we're doing a bunch of testing, man. It's gonna be so exciting. We got this workout that we've heard about for weeks now that we're gonna do, a threshold test, thrusters, burpee, increasing until you fail. We're gonna get after that right now, but let's get into it.
Good morning. You didn't say good morning, guys. Shame on you. What's up, guys?
What are you guys doing?
Just in town.
Dude, you guys are always just in town.
Yeah, just in town for a little visit. So we drop in, say hi, you know.
Just check out the house.
That's right. Just a little morning commute. Well, we actually came to see you, but now that you didn't say hi to us, I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted you to say hi to people first. Yeah, your initial reaction.
You first, Alex. You first.
Want to borrow my tent?
All clean.
It's actually not there.
Gonna need all the carbs today.
What are we doing?
Gomar's here. You should ask him to give a better explanation of what we're doing, because I don't even know exactly what we're getting up to, but I know we're doing a lot of testing. So we're doing like some lactic threshold testing, I think, this morning. And like lactic threshold testing is so different because you have to do it specifically for like your lactic threshold for running is different than biking, is different than every single different CrossFit workout, but there's not a lot of, I guess, times that it's been done for CrossFit style workouts. So I think he has a kind of version of a workout that we're gonna go through today. It's kind of like a death by style. You kind of go till you fail. And I think there's a rest minute every 4th minute, and you kind of go through, or 5th minute, and you go through and you give blood on that minute off of each round. And
Is Daniel gonna pass out always here?
probably. I hope so.
Actually,
Can you see other people's blood?
Sydney said it wasn't bad, and Sydney's kind of like me. But I told Ty that you guys were doing it this morning. I was like, guess what we're doing this morning? And I told him, and he was like, dude, if you are able to send any videos, I'd love to see it. It's like total suffering. It's gonna be carnage.
Yeah, Ty Jenkins, they did it when they were at the Adidas headquarters. Like most of the Adidas athletes, I think, were there and hit it. And Ty, I think, blew the workout out of the water and was in a very, very, very dark place.
He was.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens today.
We don't see Dustin get to a dark place very often.
I was like, he was like afterwards, he was bent over like this. And he said it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Earmuffs.
Yeah. We'll see. So we're getting into today.
What we usually do in, let's say, more conventional sports, not CrossFit style, high intensity movement sports, or other monostructural sports like cycling, you do a test where you increase the wattage or the energy output from very easy, for example, 60 watts, to until, let's say, max, which is for elite cyclists will be 450, 500 watts. For average persons, it will be 320 watts, something like this. And you do this in intervals of, let's say, 3 minutes. So 3 minutes, 3 minutes with always a bit of break. That's a very typical test. And we cannot really do that in CrossFit because, I mean, we can do it. We can put you on the bike, but it wouldn't really help you that much in your CrossFit because it's good that you can do fast biking, but you need to be better at burpees, thrusters, specifically those things. And up until, let's say, a year, we didn't really know how much watts you were producing when you were doing pull-ups, wall balls, thrusters. And that's a problem because if you don't know how many watts you're producing, it's very hard to design such a test and actually get some interesting data from this. So what we developed together with Marais, who's unfortunately not here, but she's the founder of a sensor. It's called WOD Motions. And what is that? It's basically a little device that can track your movement through space to time and space. Okay, so meaning that you can put this on and you can start doing thrusters, burpees, wall balls, whatever, and it automatically tracks these movements automatically. You just have to do the movements. You don't have to push any buttons. And why is this cool? Because you can not only know exactly what you're doing, but also how many what distance you are traveling through time and at what speed. And this you can then use in algorithms to assess your wattage, your actual power output per time unit. All right. So we designed a test now that I can show you that consists of burpees and thrusters.
I've heard about this test.
Burpees and thrusters, and it's gonna be a more endurance type test where we're gonna assess exactly this. So we're gonna start at very easy pace, so very low amount of burpees. I will get to the exact test later, and thrusters at a very light weight, and then go up until, let's say 95% of your full capacity. If you don't have to push it to the absolute bottom like at the games, for example, right? You just have to push it, but don't kill yourself. What we want to do with this is we want to assess. We want to assess your lactate. So that's another thing that we will measure, and why it's important. I will get to that in a second. It's a very little device that we have, very old school. Like it's already 15 years old, and we assess with a little droplet of blood your lactate at every interval, right? And why is this interesting? Because then we can assess your, so this will usually be the lactate curve. Lactate is, let's say, a byproduct or a product of when you work really hard, when you do anaerobic movements. For example, like Fran, for example. You will have a lot of lactate. But if you do these thrusters and burpees, which are functional movements, obviously, at a very low pace, you can actually sustain that with aerobic energy production. So there will be no lactate in or very low production. And this we can then assess at every part of this test. And then we can see which breaking points you have in your lactate curve. Maybe you've heard about your threshold pace. This will be determined using functional movements. So not with the bike, not with the runners, which you can do, but we can do it now with a specific test consisting of burpees and thrusters, which is kind of very whole body functional.
Two best CrossFit movements.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say an EMO of 5 minutes, where the first one is going to be 6 burpees, then it's going to be 12 thrusters, 27 kilos, so very light, right? We'll figure it out in pounds. And then again, 6 burpees, and then, so that's 3, and then 4, again, 12 thrusters. And then you have 1 minute rest, always. And this we repeat every EMOM of 5, it will be 7, so always 1 burpee more. Okay. And the thrusters will always remain 12, but adding weight, very slightly, only 5 pounds per round. So it will start light, it will actually also, if you end this with 135, you're very far in the test. So even at the end, it's not going to be super heavy, the thruster. Okay? But it will feel heavy.
Are you spreading those thrusters out?
Yes, so we spread the thrusters in 6-6. So we do 6 thrusters, the first from minute 0, and then we wait until 30 seconds, and then we start again. So you don't do 12 thrusters fast, and you rest the remaining of the minute. That's not what you want. You want to have continuous movement.
That sounds better.
It's probably better. It's probably better. Like the first round, so that's also why we do this test. You just build it up.
I mean, made me feel a little bit better that he said stop at 95% effort, but it's not have to go full stupid, but you still got to go 95% effort's a lot.
Yes, because we know your thresholds way before that, and that's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
Like your absolute maximum, it's interesting, but it's rather where the breaking point is of the lactate curve.
Yeah.
And that we know before. At 90%, 75, something like that.
So you actually go 75%.
Yeah. It's a nice thing to remember when you're doing it. Just one more round more than Turner, hopefully.
Unplug yet?
Before it starts. How hard was it? 36 again.
Here, the first interval, the lactate stays very low, exactly what we wanted. Goal, elite athletes. If you have an average Joe, it would go up straight. And here, now you see it already going up kind of linearly. It will go at the end when they're really exhausted, exponentially go up. Because the anaerobic system is working really hard at that moment. It will inevitably go up, but at the end it will go up really a lot. And that's our the most exponential part will be the thresholds, lactate threshold too. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, it was only like really bad in the last 6 minutes. Other than that, it's like my elbows like hurt, like a lot of pressing.
You did like 270 something.
Crazy though, my elbows just hurt.
Right now.
Eat lower session, more squats.
You need that.
I do need that because my legs are always my limiting factor. Besides today, triceps definitely got real tossed. But it was a good workout. I mean, they said like to go to like 95% pretty much. I felt like after I did the 12th round, I was there. And I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, that's like my 95%. I think if I want to finish another round, I'm going to have to like go to a very dark place, which is like still doable, but I was 270 thrusters in and like my elbows were just starting to get real tight. And I was like, I don't know if it's worth to keep going. Given at the time, I did not think, I was doing the math after about how many thrusters we did, and I did not think it was true. I was like, all right, well, we did 24 round, then we did 12 rounds. I was like 240 plus 24. I'm like, dang, it's a lot. So Turner's out here saying, I can't hurt anymore. When she still made it to 54 minutes or whatever the hell she did. It was one round behind me pretty much. and the girls' weight is heavier because we started. I wanted to talk to them about it because this is like a new test, but I started at 80, she started at 55, but then we both go up by 5 pounds. So when she was at 100 pounds, I was only at 125, which if she's at 100, I should have been at 145. So my weight stayed lighter. I feel like the version that I did is like more spot on, but that given, if she did correct scaleization, she probably would have made it farther than me. I think that's pretty great. I mean, I think we're gonna get like good data from it. We're supposed to be able to like, I think you said there's like 28 or 30 something like movements that they have in their like database that we can all train in different orders to like help improve like our lactate threshold and like all that stuff. So they're gonna debrief here in like an hour. So we're gonna eat some food, do the debrief, and then hit a lower session. But I'm excited.
I mean, perfect. Like we could all do all. It's really like a beta testing thing, right? So it's not so easy to do these things, but we have all the data. The lactate curves look optimal. So we designed this test specifically for elite athletes. If you want to do this at home, for example, you need to start with a way lower weight, like an empty barbell, and go up maybe a bit slower, because otherwise you're just going to burn out after 10 minutes. That's not the goal. The goal is to do at least 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes. And they all went way above that, so that's perfect. Plan for tomorrow, we're going to use their data, individual data, to make a specific workout based on their threshold. So we are going to do a 30-minute EMO that has different movements and burpees and thrusters, but should hit their threshold pace based on their biomechanics and based on data of the sensor. And then I'm going to take lactate, all the same, at 5-minute intervals, and seeing if they're actually at the threshold or if they're too high or too low. But according to the science, they should be on the threshold. Let's see.
It's a brand new day.